What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Love and War. Disney Plus released this. It's a documentary. I don't know if they're trying to get an Oscar campaign for it, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those things where they sort of like run it through Nat Geo, and Disney loves to play this game where they pretend like Nat Geo doesn't exist when it comes time to audio describing things. They're like la 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 la. La 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 la, we're committed to audio description. La 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 la, but not over Nat Geo. Not so it's yet again, it's another Nat Geo feature-length documentary that could be up for awards consideration that doesn't have audio description, um, which is deeply unfortunate. And sometimes these films do have audio description. Was it Sugarcane last year that I reviewed? And somebody was like, that movie has audio description, was and isn't using it. So if you did the audio description for Love and War, I just want to let you know, Disney doesn't like you. Disney. Disney did not like the work that you did and has chosen to not use it. So I guess I don't know what the takeaway here is. But the takeaway definitely is that Disney cares about audio description in certain places and they're not that committed to it. They're only like quasi committed to audio description sometimes. This is like less egregious to me. It's just kind of this pervasively hilarious thing with Nat Geo documentaries where it's like, yeah, I guess we don't get that. I guess we don't get that. What's up with Nat Geo? Like, do they just think blind people don't like a Nat Geo? Like, what's going on with these movies? Um, but it's a little bit more, you know, obvious when it's like their own like branded content that they don't put audio description on, like like Ariel Jr. or the Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, stuff like that. I'm like, why doesn't this have audio description? So, yeah, I've kind of fallen a little bit out of love with Disney and their audio description choices because sometimes it's just like you're picking and choosing with how valuable I am and people like me are to your company, and part of that problem is it's very much like an if you build it they will come. I know the quote is he will come, by the way, type of thing, but it's almost always misquoted as they will come. um, so we're just gonna go with that. And yeah, the more reliable you are in terms of audio description, the more that's going to be the service that people pay for. You know, that's going to be in the streaming wars. Blind people who aren't film critics like me, who aren't bouncing around from service to service, they're going to pick the one that is, you know, doing it nonstop, not the one that isn't. So this is a war photographer documentary, which inherently is like the most visual thing I could have possibly told you. Like, we're following like a photojournalist, which is like a visual medium in and of itself. So to not have references to it is very odd. Um, but luckily, she has talked to the camera quite a bit. She's trying to balance family life with her life, covering all of these different war-torn areas and talking about risking her life and the people that she's seen along the way who have died, who have been killed, other journalists. She talks about how journalists, it's not safe for journalists anymore. It used to be that everybody sort of respected the idea and knew that press would be a great way to get your story out there. Even if you were on the other side, even if you were the insurgent force, it was a great way for you to get whatever your message was out at the time instead of just, capturing and decapitating the journalists, which is happening. So, yeah, they're not as protected anymore, and they are putting their lives at risk more and more to capture things like 20 Days in Mariupol, right? That Oscar-winning documentary that we got. So, not the same person, by the way. This is not, I just pulled that out because people are more familiar with the Academy Award winner for Best Documentary Feature, which is exactly what this is. It's more photojournalists that were trapped behind enemy lines and were there for some days and captured all that footage. So, and yeah, she's been to Ukraine and it talks about her life and trying to balance the worst work-life balance ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a life, but I also have work, and my work is, you know, I have to have a life insurance policy. I have to have like a kidnapping policy, something like that. You have to have these kidnapping ransom things. You have to have all these other things because where you're going is not safe, and highly recommended to not go there. But yet you're leaving a family behind. Anyway, um, from what I could get from it, it's a solid documentary. And now that I'm doing this tomato meter thing, I have a hard time with this one, uh, because it's very visual and I need it. I need audio description, but at the same time, the context of what she's talking about, and even some of the stuff that she like alludes to and talks about in the story, um, is not. Uh, it's good. Like the content is good, and I think I would be impacted by Love and War more with audio description. I think this would shoot up into potentially like my top 10 of the year if it had audio description based on the content, based on the oh my god, I can't believe it's happening type of stuff. But because I'm disconnected from it, it's not there. But I also don't want to use the word rotten to describe this documentary. So what I'm going to do is we've talked about it, we've discussed it, and I'm not going to do a tomato meter review. So this will not appear on my. This is a YouTube exclusive thoughts on Love and War. I just occasionally I don't mind throwing rotten at films that don't have audio description, but I do when I'm like 100% sure that if it did have audio description, it would be fresh. And also, it's a documentary, and the content is actually really important for people to understand and to watch. So, for sighted people, I would love to say, please watch this because there's a message here worth listening to. But for blind people like me, our access was denied, and it's absolutely fucking watchable in parts. Like the whole purpose of the thing, it's like rated R for graphics, for strong graphic violence. Good luck finding that, without audio description. Good luck finding any of the horrors. 20 Days in Mariupol, like without audio description is like a walk in a park. With audio description is like, oh my Jesus. So it's just very different things. And I still would love to have audio description on No Other Land, by the way. Whoever out there is in the world that can put that and make that happen. So, there you go. Love and War. Check it out. I did want to bring attention to it because, again, go to the I've mentioned this before in my things too. Find those YouTubers. I have 500 and some odd subscribers right now. Find the ones that have 500 and some odd thousand subscribers. See if any of them even talk about Love and War. See if one of them reviews it. Even one. Find me one channel with 500,000 K plus subscribers that reviews this movie. It's not going to happen. So the only way we talk about smaller movies like this is through smaller critics, but then we don't get the likes and subscribes because I'm not on here giving you Predator Badlands like the 2,000 other critics on YouTube who've given you Predator Badlands. So, Jesus. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.